Greetings, everyone. This is the Sex Symbol Podcast, and I'm your gracious host, R. Anthony. Back for another installment of the Sex Symbol Podcast. I know it's been a while, but sometimes you just gotta let things marinate, and that's kind of what I want to get into today with this podcast: the importance of time and or timing. This is going to be a very crucial, very important podcast. For those of you that listen, I just want to take the time to say I appreciate you. Those who have purchased the books, you can go on my website, www.iamsexsymbol.com. Make sure you download or purchase the paperback version of the Sex Symbol Diet. This information really won't mean as much. It's like going to the movie theaters and you're going to see a 3D movie without the glasses. So it's very important to have those books. Like I said, www.iamsexsymbol.com or www.thesexsymboldiet.com. You can check out my books, and they will be very beneficial to this information that I provide on my podcast. Now, that being said, I just want to talk about something that's very important. The importance of time/timing. Timing and time is a very important factor that most people don't factor in, especially when it comes to relationships and dating and all that kind of other stuff. Now, we factor it in with everything else. We factor it in with going to college and earning our degree so that we can have a better opportunity at getting a better job. We do it when it comes to relationships and sex. You don't have sex before puberty hit. For a specific reason. It's not time. Your body has not developed the ability to do what it needs to do sexually. So the importance of timing is very, very key. And a lot of people get frustrated when they want something so bad, a relationship or marriage or whatever the case may be. They want it so bad that they fail to realize that all of the relationships and the people that they are attracting are only pushing them further back from getting what they desire. And this is important because it really symbolizes and tells you where you are. Everybody and everything that we're attracting in our life is a direct representation of who we are and where we're vibrating at that moment. So if you really want to know who you are and where you are, look at who you're attracting, who you're hanging around. They say, look at the 5 people that you hang around, and in 5 years you'll be them. But you're already them, because if you wasn't them, they wouldn't be around you. If I spoke Spanish and you spoke Italian, or we may be able to understand a few words, but we're not going to be able to carry on a long drawn out conversation. So that goes without saying. If I'm somewhere vibrationally speaking and I'm talking to you, it just won't make sense to you, and you won't make sense to me, and it will never work. But because something within you is allowing you to stay connected to people who you don't feel may not necessarily be on your level, but apparently they are. So you got to look at the people and the things that you're attracting into your life. You want a better house, better car, better whatever. Whatever you have at the moment is a direct reflection of who you are at the moment. Now, you can always get better and you can always upgrade. But the key is recognizing your timing. This is important because sometimes it's good to just fall back, relax, meditate, think about who you are, where you are, what you've been doing, what the decisions you made, the good decisions, the bad decisions, the mistakes. All these things are highlighted in recognizing your time. And so a lot of times when you don't do that, you're pushing for something that you're not prepared for. You wouldn't go and try to become a plastic surgeon or a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon without first going through all of the schooling that is supposed to be provided so that you can do the job to the best of your ability. You wouldn't just come out of high school with unless you were a super genius. You would still have to have some extra schooling. It wouldn't take you as long to go through the school, but you would still have to have some extra schooling in order to be qualified to become a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon or any kind of doctor. So why do people go through and think that just because I'm a man, I'm a woman, or I'm a male or I'm a female, that I am qualified to be in a relationship? And truly you are. You really are. However, we grow so much as individuals. We change and we morph and we evolve into these different beings. And where you are now, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the things that you desire or you thought you were so sure of, now you look back at it like, I was so foolish. I had no idea what I was wanting. You may desire a certain type of woman or a certain type of man 5-10 years ago, and now that's the cause of most of your problems in your life is your decisions about mates. Now, the importance of timing is this. This is the key to it. Everything has a season. Everything has a time. Every fruit, everything that we eat has a season and a time. There's a time where it's ripe. There's a time where it's not ready to be picked. Some people are just not ready to be picked at this very moment. They need to sit on the tree and continue to ripen. And that's basically the meditation time, the quiet time, the reflecting time, the time where you're working on your skills, you're working on different things, the equivalent to going to school for all those years that it takes to become a doctor. Now, when you go through the higher levels of education, and the better the school that you go to, the better qualifications that you have. Now, for me, what I would recommend and what I do, I take a lot of time to myself. I just really reflect. I take seasons out of my life where I'm quiet. Sometimes I'm talking to the season. But there comes a season where I cut my conversations off a lot. And I don't dispense as much of my chi and my internal energy as I normally would. This is because I'm replenishing. If you have a glass of water and you have a pitcher sitting right next to it, the pitcher will definitely have more water in it than the glass. As you pour from the pitcher into the glass and then you drink from the glass, that glass becomes empty. And in order to enjoy more of the beverage or whatever it is that you're drinking, the water, then you will need to refill it back from the pitcher. Most people don't do this. Most people go from relationship to relationship, pouring themselves out, and then go into the next relationship. And then they have a lower amount of chi and energy and essence to give to the next person, and so on and so on and so on, to where when they get 50 and 60 years old, they have no energy left. And I know a lot of people see it when they with their grandparents or grandmother or grandfather if they're single. They see that they're just tired. They're just tired of going through the relationship thing, so they'd rather just stay single. Even your parents, you start to see it. If they're single, if they're married, you still see it because they have not found the refueling point. If you were just to drive in your car and just keep driving without actually stopping at a gas station, eventually you're going to run out of gas. And yes, you may meet somebody who can give you a little bit of gas from their car, but eventually you're going to have to go back to the source, and it takes time to refuel. And most people don't want to do that. And so their timing is off. When they meet the right person, they have no more fuel to give them everything that they're supposed to give them to be qualified for that person. And this is the problem with most relationships and most people. They're not qualified because they didn't use their timing. They didn't use their time correctly. Folks, there's a time for everything. There's a time to talk. There's a time to be quiet. There's a time to pour. There's a time to be refueled. There's a time to eat. There's a time not to eat. There's a time to sleep. There's a time to stay woke. There's a time to work. There's a time to play. But recognizing the difference is the key. And that all comes from self-reflection, quiet time, reading new things, going to new places, traveling, seeing new things, being around new people. This is the key. And that's been today's podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, this one right here. You can also go to iTunes and download the Sex Symbol Podcast. And like I told you before, www.iamasexsymbol.com or thesexsymboldiet.com. I appreciate you listening. Thank you. And many pieces and blessings to all of y'all that hear my voice. This has been R. Anthony, and I'm out. Peace.